Yes, next question. I don't know. We'll call it that.
Well, Mark Waid, LSH again. I loved your run on that.
Who are you? Show your man. Oh, see, if you're a girl, I'd kiss you. But that is awesome. What a great question. Thank you. I will probably never write Legion of Superheroes again because as we've learned with Flash, never go back. It will ruin you. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think that
You have a twisted history with that team.
I have a very true. I've launched that team like twice, and it's and the thing is, it's neither of the teams that are going to be at the end of Legion of Free Worlds are those teams. So. If you said to me, here's Superboy, by the way, you can make it like it was in the 60s, I would have been all over that like black on a bowling ball. But that wasn't really.
Is that a phrase?
It is now. I'd be a writer.
This is writing?
Oh, but thank you for your question. That's very nice of you to say. I'm glad you enjoyed the run. I wrote it specifically for people who didn't read Legion of Superheroes but wanted to read Legion of Superheroes.
I've always loved Legionnaires, all that, and I like to run as well. And I feel really especially sad that they totally went back on pretty much everything. Right after you left the book.
The moment I left the book, it's like you leave the room and then a meteor falls on it.
Now, why is that? I mean, that happens with some regularity in comics. Is that just a new writer coming in and saying, well, I have to put my mark on this title? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
you kind of know, almost always try to do any new take, it's going to eventually go back to the classic take.
Right.
I learned that on Legion, and now I've experienced a little bit with Spider-Man, some of the stuff we've done. It's always going to go back to that classic mode. That's the way the pendulum swings.
You can't move Fantastic Four to the Baxter Building because you know that eventually they're going to move back. You can't move Spider-Man. You can't have him become a different thing than a photojournalist because eventually he's going to be a photo. Like everybody just knows it's going to be back.
True, but you have to move him away, otherwise he's just.
I agree.
I know, but the trick is finding. I know, but the trick is finding a way to do it in a way that is at least buys the illusion that you're having some change.
And once in a while, you can hit upon a thing that works for a long time. Peter David on Hulk for 15 years wasn't the classic Hulk that we all know.
Right.
And then once we got there, it was kind of a breath of fresh air to have Hulk destroying shit. We hadn't seen that in so long.
Right.
But for 15 years, there was constantly a new status quo in that book.
Like Spider-Man was married for a long time.
I was sitting here going, you know what? They're going to not talk about it.
And to save a woman's life, he gave up that marriage.
I know.
What a great story.
That's bullshit.
An editor pokes! An editor pokes!
See, our present to this.
Ancillary.
Hey, we got another question?
Nope, that's it for your last question.
There's me, Pete.
And we are going to move on with our next section, which we like to call the Week in Geek.
Yeah!
Yeah, so hard to First thing we like to talk about.
What book is that from, Mark?
That's from Superman 123. Who doesn't know that? What do they teach you in college?
Not about comic books. First thing we're going to talk about is Last Night's Heroes. Unfortunately, Heroes was not on last week. Such a shame.
Thank God.
But last night, this makes me really feel very weird to say out loud. Heroes broke new ground by having a good episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a good episode.
I know. I felt totally weird the entire time.
Was it a Brian Fuller episode?
Yeah, it was Brian Fuller. Yeah, that's exactly what was good. He wrote the only other ever good episode of the show, which was Company Man from the first season.
Yeah.
Wow, you are hard. The only good episode of the entire series.
That I hate that show so much.
Wow.
And every week he talks about it.
That's why I'm
It's the cross the audience bears. Like,
That's true.
But this episode
That show
was
was your
very
wife.
good. Yeah, I'm seeing other shows.
Great setup.
It was beyond being well written. It was actually, it felt like everybody on the show took the script and took everything to the next level, where it was better filmed, it was better acted across the board. Everything about this particular episode was better. What did you guys think?
I agree. It was really good, and I will admit I haven't even been watching a lot of them this season because they're so bad. But this one, even the end, which I was like, Peter Petrelli walks forward and he's like, what do we do now? Or something. And I'm like, oh no, here comes some suck. And then it pulls out and he's in the Statue of Liberty. I was like, this seems lame, but why do I like it? And I still don't know.
Yeah.
Like, why did I like that?
I don't know, because they made everything that was lame about the show for the past 2.5 seasons or whatever totally cool again. It was very.
It was actually kind of touching when
There were- yeah.
Matt Parkman's girlfriend/wife. I
What?
don't know. Did they get married?
Did he slash her? What was it?
You think that's funny? She died.
Who in the audience knows? Girlfriend or wife? Who knows?
Girlfriend.
All right, so girlfriend.
Yeah. She dies in this really smartly written way. It was great.
Yes, it's very good.
I mean, all the talk about the crying was a little much. I felt like we didn't need to. There was that one back and forth with Hero and his sidekick. There.
Oh, you can't watch the hero stuff. You can't watch the hero and.
Yeah, that whole.
Even that was not terrible though.
No, the time's like, don't make me cry. Well, you're gonna make me cry. Well, if you cry, then I'm gonna cry. Then the baby's gonna start crying.
I was like, you guys were having the exact same conversation backstage.
Yeah, but weird.
You're a liar. But it was. That was really the only thing where I was like, usually it's this and then it snowballs into terrible. But there was. I did think it was weird. They were in the Statue of Liberty and the CG looked pretty bad. I was like, really? They couldn't get anything better than that for looking
They
at the
couldn't
top?
get the actual statue.
Well, I can understand that, but I mean, it was just like, they just did black shading behind them. They're like, no, we're in the Statue of Liberty. No one's allowed up there, so they won't know that that's not it. I was like,
Do you guys think it can, in any sense, maintain being good?
you can hope. Hopefully this is the first step, and they're just going to crawl back out and start doing great shows again.
How hard is it to be good?
Apparently a lot.
Guys?
Yeah, anybody?
Okay, we don't know. Let's move on to the next topic, which is Spider-Man 4. There's been a lot of non-news about this in the news. Just people talking about who the villains are, what's going on with it. You guys were you mentioned you were talking about Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man musical a little bit on Sunday.
We were planning it all out.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
cool.
can't
So you got the whole
You
plot.
got the song.
It ties in with One More Day.
Great idea.
Yep.
Great song title.
Yep.
One more day.
Cool. There's obviously been a lot of working together. I've apparently lost my facility for words since the beginning of the show. But
Boom.
there's been a lot of Marvel and Marvel Studios have occasionally been working together, like Joe Quesada and Bendis going in talking about Thor, other people going in and talking about Iron Man 2. Is it a different process with Spider-Man because that's a Sony movie? versus
Yeah,
Marvel
there's a
Studios?
there's a different vibe between Marvel and Sony, and they're kind of doing their thing. We don't have to, you know, they've got their own thing. They check in with us. You know, it's not like we're going in different directions or anything, but they pretty much run their own thing. The musical, on the other hand, has been a part of, you know, some things at least Joe's been a part of. You know, Joe's, I think, heard some of the music. He's read the script and stuff, and that's, you know, they've been checking in with.
What do you know about it?
It's all the Joshua Tree. And it's a Spider-Man thing.
Spider-Man.
Do you think around the time the musical comes out, are we going to be seeing more musical elements in the comic book?
Oh, I wish I could do that.
You can open it up if you want to.
There are people here who can vouch for the fact that all I do is sing the titles of our book.
That's true.
Every week.
It's actually true. So a little sound chip with Steve, just singing the dialogue.
I would pay literally 50 cents more.
Wow.
Literally, no exaggeration, you guys.
Done.
And
It's in your pocket.
who would you like to see as the villains for Spider-Man 4?
Spider-Man 4?
Yeah?
Have they done Sandman?
Man, you can't find time to see this in the 28 weeks of the year. That's a call.
I learned a lesson. I don't know. The comedian?
Everyone's a comedian.
Wow.
Like Ian
Mark,
McShane. Can he play anybody?
Well, to be fair, he'd be a good Craven, right?
Craven! That's great. That's what I've heard.
Ian McShane is Craven. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, he used to be too.
Don't be satisfied with anything else.
That's great.
That's great.
That is good.
Oh, like
You've got
Kings,
crazy
like
eyes.
Kings are going to be on the air in another 2 weeks. Come on.
That show's
I'm
so
coming
good.
down for my
Everybody go
whiskey
watch it.
sour, but that is a good
That's
idea.
All right, and that's it for the week in Geek.